Ну это маркетинг. Они делают это специально, чтобы разогреть этот бой. Ну, у людей уже есть интерес к этому. Значит, они делают правильно, и мы будем бороться за первое место в рейтинге.
They always used to say it, like he's smaller, he's this, he's that, and it's not always about the size. It's about the skills.
Yeah.
And I don't feel smaller in the lightweight division at all. I feel very comfortable, and
yeah,
I prove it. Maybe they are taller than me, but not bigger.
The UFC world is on fire as Ilia Topuria rises to the top of the pound-for-pound rankings, and Islam Makhachev signals he's ready for a historic clash. This is shaping up to be the biggest fight in the sport, with two dominant champions on a collision course for ultimate supremacy. After Ilia Topuria's rise to the top of the pound-for-pound rankings, talk of a clash with Islam Makhachev has taken over the MMA world. Fans are calling it the fight that will decide who truly rules the sport. When asked about this potential showdown, Makachev responded with a clear and confident statement, showing that he understands the hype and what's at stake.
Ну это маркетинг. Они делают это специально, чтобы разогреть этот бой. Ну, у людей уже есть интерес к этому. Значит, они делают правильно, и мы будем бороться за первое место в рейтинге.
In the middle of all the buzz surrounding a possible super fight, Islam took to social media with a subtle yet sharp message aimed at Ilia Topuria. Posting a picture of a tiger, Makachev chose just 2 words to grab everyone's attention. It was his way of reminding fans and rivals alike that appearances can be deceiving. Adding on, Ilia Topuria didn't hold back when discussing Islam Makhachev's future and the challenges of weight cuts. Speaking about fighters moving between divisions, Topuria explained how brutal it is to drop weight after going up. He shared his own experience of suffering while cutting down to featherweight and how shifting to lightweight brought him relief and happiness.
Come back down to 155.
Once you try to go up, you never want to come back.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's hell, right?
It's hell.
Yeah.
It's hell. I had to go through hell when I was cutting the weight in 145. And now that I decide to stay in 155, it's like 2 different worlds. I have been able to enjoy the whole process. I've been more happier. I don't know. I enjoy it much more.
I bet.
I really had bad times when I was fighting it.
I bet. How much weight did you have to cut to make 145?
I had to cut like almost 30 pounds.
Topuria revealed just how brutal his weight cuts were at featherweight, explaining the long and painful process of losing nearly 30 pounds over 12 weeks. He described how the final week before the fight was the hardest, dropping almost 20 pounds alone. This tough routine took a heavy toll on his body and mind, which is why he now prefers fighting at lightweight.
What?
Yeah.
And how long would that start?
12 weeks.
So you'd start 12 weeks out losing 30? And then how much do you drop the week of?
The last week, I had to drop 10 kilos, which is like almost 20 pounds. Yeah, 10 kilos.
I mean, now
you have to. The thing is that you have to, because you gotta have a good recovery, you know? Because I could cut more before the 5 week. Let's say like I could have 5 kilos to cut in the 5 week, but I wouldn't have the same recovery as if I cut 10 kilos in the 5 week.
Furthermore, Ilia Topuria shared his thoughts on the challenges fighters face when changing weight classes. He acknowledged Islam Makhachev's size and strength, but explained how difficult it is to adjust after training for a different division. When asked about their mutual respect, Topuria admitted that while respect is real, once it's time to compete, his focus is on winning, no matter what anyone says.
What he's gonna say.
Yeah.
What he's gonna say. That's the fight they have ahead. They're not gonna say, no, we are fighting a easier opponent than Ilia. He has to say that.
You guys have a lot of
knows
mutual respect though, right?
He knows the reality.
Yeah.
What you said?
I said you guys have a lot of mutual respect still, but it's just...
There's always respect.
Of course.
How you cannot respect like people who's fighting for their dreams and they work hard. But another thing is that when it comes to the competition, when it comes me against you, I'm always gonna choose myself.
Fuck. Yeah. I know. Everyone was kind of wondering.
Adding on, Arman Tsarukyan praised Islam Makhachev's growth as a fighter, highlighting key improvements that have elevated his game. He pointed out that Islam's striking has become sharper, his clinch works stronger, and his cardio much better than before. Arman emphasized that while physical skills are crucial, the experience Islam has gained is the most important factor in his continued dominance.
Very good. His clinch, his cardio. He used to have bad cardio. Now his cardio way better, and I mean, experience, of course, the most important thing.
On the other side, MMA legend Chael Sonnen weighed in on Ilia Topuria's rise and how the media often overlooks his achievements. Despite being undefeated and dominating 2 weight classes, Topuria doesn't get the same spotlight as other fighters. Sonnen pointed out that Ilia is operating on a whole different level, already seen as a future superstar, beyond just comparisons to his next opponent.
So when you have a guy like Ilia Topuria, who's made it, Ilia's not even playing the same game as everybody else. They don't even speak about Ilia in the media the way they speak about everybody else. Like, can he be great? What about this pound for pound? He's undefeated. He's been in 2 divisions. They don't even do that. He is in a different stratosphere where they're talking about, can he be the biggest star in the history of the sport? They're not even comparing Ilia to his next opponent. They don't even know who his next opponent is. The media is looking at Ilia differently. That's how red hot this guy is.
Continuing his praise for Ilia Topuria, Sonnen reflected on how Topuria's mindset hasn't changed since early in his career. Sonnen admired his discipline and focus on long-term goals. He compared Ilia's journey to Khabib Nurmagomedov's perfect 29-0 run, championship reign, and legacy-building efforts, highlighting how fighters like these shape the sport's pound-for-pound history.
3 years ago, that's what he would have done 10 years ago when he started in the sport. This is what he would have done 18 months ago before he captured the championship belt. I love to see that he hasn't changed. I love to see the discipline, that he is remembering what his goals are. I loved the night, and it was impactful for me, that Khabib went 29-0, defended a world championship, had an unbelievable submission, retired from the sport, and went to the media and fought for himself to get #1 pound-for-pound status. I love that John Jones fought back.
Furthermore, on the Jackson podcast, Luke Rockhold, TJ Dillashaw, and Bear DeGidio broke down why Ilia Topuria stands out as a future superstar. They praised his balance, composure, and precise boxing skills, describing him as one of the most technically sound strikers in UFC history. Their analysis highlighted how his style combines power with smart movement, making him incredibly dangerous in every exchange.
He's balanced, he's powerful, he rotates, he's got the best boxing I've seen in the UFC ever.
TJ?
Power he punches because he's balanced. His weight's on his back foot. He's able to push off. He closes distance wonderfully. He's throwing 5 or 6 punch combos. He's staying tight. His hands are always up. His head's getting off the tracks.
His vision's clear.
Yeah, exactly. His vision's clear.
Sees it.
He's relaxed in there. Like, that's where he wants to be.
Yeah, Luke, you talked about that right when I saw you Monday about the fight. You're like, look how relaxed he is.
The conversation then shifted to Topuria's mental edge and ability to control the fight. Rockhold emphasized Ilia's confidence, noting how he executes combinations with precision and awareness. They also discussed the current lightweight landscape, suggesting that Topuria could dominate for years if he overcomes tough challenges ahead, such as a potential clash with Arman Tsarukyan before moving on to bigger fights like Islam Makhachev.
We were talking about, people's attitudes and their like aura when they're in the cage. And Luke, you're always pretty good at knowing what people, you feel like you know everybody. So it's like, you're always pretty good at kind of calling those things out. Do we see this guy as one of the most confident fighters?
He knows where he's coming. He knew the moment he stepped forward, he knew he was going to throw this combo and he was going to land all 3 of those shots. Jab, hook, bang, bang, bang.
Do we also feel that he's coming into a division right now that's in a little bit of a disarray, so he's kind of going to be able to do what he wants for the next couple of years?
We need to see him fight Armin,
and then I would love decide after that.
And then decide after that, and then if he gets through Armin, which is gonna be a tough battle, I like.
Adding on, Joe Rogan, one of the biggest names in MMA commentary, spoke about Ilia Topuria's incredible striking skill. He said Ilia fights in a way that feels different from other fighters, with sharp movements and knockout power. Rogan explained that what makes Ilia special isn't just winning fights, but the way he finishes opponents so brutally and impressively inside the cage.
But it was the kickboxing. So I'm a big kickboxing fan. And in kickboxing, he was a 2-division world champion in Glory, which is like the elite kickboxing league. But the thing wasn't that he was winning. It was how he was winning.
Yeah.
He was flatlining people.
But you have to have actually watched the fight to get that.
You'd have to watch. You also be able to critically analyze his movements. They're just different. He's just doing something. He moves different than people. And the way when he hits guys, it's like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
They can all knock each other out. They're all elite fighters.
I mean,
Joe continued his praise for Ilia Topuria, focusing on his devastating punching power and flawless mechanics. Rogan pointed out how every strike Ilia throws is delivered with total precision and commitment. According to Rogan, Ilia's unique timing and technique make him one of the most dangerous finishers in the UFC, capable of ending a fight with a single perfectly placed punch.
Oh, it should, for sure. Yeah, when you watch the punch being delivered in slow motion, it looks everything like a knockout punch. He throws his punches with so much conviction. There's so much torque, and they're so perfect.
Like his whole body weight is coming in.
It's the coordination of the mechanics of his movements. It's like that's a big part of. He also has very big fists, but that's a big part, especially for 145 and even in 155. Like he's undersized compared to like guys like Rufy, who's like 6'2". There's like some elite guys that are big in that weight class. But
Rogan then compared Ilia's power to what coach Firas Zahabi calls the touch of death, saying no opponent can survive when Ilia lands clean. He also highlighted Topuria's incredible streak of wins over legends like Volkanovski, Holloway, and Oliveira, calling it the greatest 3-fight run in UFC history. Rogan believes this combination of skill and dominance makes Ilia truly special.
Elite guys that are big in that weight class, but the way he delivers his punches, it's like you just can't get hit by him, man.
Yeah.
He's got so much commitment, and so the timing is so perfect. When he went blam with that right hand, that had everything on it. No one's eating that shot. No one. He's got what Firas Zahabi likes to call the touch of death. It's a perfect name for it. It's because like he hits guys, they're just done, man. They're done.
That seems
He's got the greatest 3-fight win streak in the history of the sport. He knocks out Alexander Volkanovski, Max Holloway, and then Charles Oliveira. It's the greatest 3-fight win streak in the history of the.
Moving on, Chael Sonnen addressed the ongoing debate about the pound-for-pound rankings after recent shifts at the top. He noted how Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria are now at the center of this conversation. Sonnen explained how ranking decisions often spark arguments among fans and analysts. And this time, the decision between Islam and Ilia has become one of the sport's hottest talking points.
Number one spot, obviously. Have you guys seen the rankings? Obviously, the number one spot goes to Islam, which is then going to have us something to debate. Should have it been Ilia? Or are we responsible enough to resist Errol Hawani's favorite term, the recency bias, and keep Islam on top? Wrong, wrong, and wrong. And guys, I was right there with you. I also thought that it would be Islam. They gave it to Topuria.
Sonnen admitted that he initially believed Islam would hold the top spot, but the committee's choice to place Ilia at number 1 surprised him. He highlighted how this decision has now become a major headline, proving just how much impact Ilia's success has made. Sonnen stressed that Ilia's rise in the rankings has completely shifted the narrative in MMA discussions.
Topuria. Now, it wouldn't have been big news if they gave it to Islam. It would have been a talking point. It would have been just something that I might have come over here today and I might have discussed with you, and I might not have. Instead, it's my lead story. They gave it to Ilia. They put Ilia over Islam. And you know what? I don't think it's possible.
Sonnen then broke down why Ilia's position makes sense despite some resistance from fans. He emphasized that Ilia is not just another fighter, but a sitting world champion whose dominance demands recognition. Sonnen argued that putting anyone ahead of him, especially someone without a recent belt, would be hard to justify under the pound-for-pound criteria used by the rankings committee.
Possible not to. I don't think it's possible not to. You have a champion of the world. You have the champion of the division whose success is so recognized by the very few criterion of the rankings committee that he can't even be ranked. Not within his weight class. He must go on top. He must. Everybody else can be ranked. He is only eligible to the ranking of pound for pound. How would you take a sitting world champion and then tell us that he is behind a guy that doesn't have a belt? That's tough, isn't it? You don't like that. You don't like that. I didn't really love saying it. It is the reality.
Furthermore, former featherweight champion Max Holloway shared his thoughts on Ilia Topuria potentially facing Islam Makhachev at 170 pounds. Holloway praised Ilia's incredible punching power and current winning streak, saying it's hard to deny him such a massive fight. While Max admitted he'd love a rematch with Ilia, he believes Topuria truly deserves a shot at a super fight against Islam.
I mean, we see what happens, you know, if he does that on the run that he's doing. I mean, it's kind of hard to deny that, you know, and that would be a freaking huge super fight. And with him having the punching power he has, is just unreal, bro. So you can't count him out in whatever, in anything. But I mean, who's to say? You know, that's not my job. I mean, if he goes up, like, he goes up. You know, he's his man. You know, do I want that fight back? 100%. But you know, I can't be like, hey, stay down here, blah blah blah, and cry about it. So at the end of the day, if he does that, which he probably deserves it, not probably, he deserves it. So I think that would be a fun fight too. I think that it'd be super interesting if that fight ever was booked.
Meanwhile, Alexander Volkanovski compared his knockout experiences against Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. He revealed that although he was out longer after Ilia's knockout, the concussion symptoms from Islam's punch felt worse. Volkanovski's insight highlights the different kinds of power these fighters bring, showing just how dangerous both are inside the octagon and adding more fuel to the debate over who packs the heavier punch.
From the Islam, I feel like I had more of a concussion from the Islam one.
Yeah,
even though I was knocked out longer with Ilia, like I had a lot more of the symptoms than that with the Islam one. So I probably should have had more of a protocol.
After hearing Volkanovski's thoughts on the striking power of both Islam Makachev and Ilia Topuria, trainer Javier Mendez jumped into the ongoing pound-for-pound debate. He admitted that while Islam could reclaim the top spot with a welterweight win, right now Ilia holds the crown.
I will say it's up for debate, and if people feel you're correct, you're correct.
Islam wins the welterweight, he's back to being number one pound for pound.
Yeah.
But right to this moment, to this very day, Ilia Topuria is the number one pound for pound. It's very hard not say that.
Listen, this is like what Dana White said. It's not for him to decide, it's for the fans to decide. So it's not for me to say what, it's for the fans to decide. So if I say, oh, you're wrong, well, who cares what I say? The fans vote, they win. So whoever they feel is still number one is number one.
The prospect of Islam Makachev facing Ilia Topuria has MMA fans buzzing worldwide, and for good reason. This fight isn't just about two elite fighters stepping into the octagon, it's about determining who truly holds the top spot in the pound-for-pound ranking. Islam, with his dominant grappling and tactical mastery, represents a legacy of championship excellence, carrying the torch passed down from Khabib Nurmagomedov. Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria's rise has been nothing short of meteoric. His precise striking, powerful knockouts, and undefeated streak across two divisions have carved his name among MMA's brightest stars. Beyond the physical fight, this bout symbolizes the ongoing debate about who deserves the pound-for-pound crown. With media voices, legends, and fans divided, the fight would settle more than just bragging rights. It would define an era. Who do you think would win this epic matchup? Islam Makachev or Ilia Topuria? Tell us why in the comments below. Your opinion matters.